First of all, I just want to thank you. I want to thank everyone here because I feel like we have this space to like be ourselves and to take off the shield that we wear every day and to take off the forced smiles and to just be, you know, skin and bone and raw and if it wasn't for every one of us who's here, we wouldn't have this space together. And it just, we've been traveling around and to see that people are still making these havens in every town, I think it's beautiful. And
yeah.
Right, so قالوا حبها غلاب بيتها من دون ابواب بتغير اصحاب كل ما تغير بساطي شئت قلبي حبها ويا ويلا من ربا فتحة بقلبها سوبر ماركت والكافيين. My mother tells me that we are safe in love. She says, you and I, we can delude ourselves, but in the blink of an eye can switch it off. She would snap her fingers, a seemingly innocent gesture, only now do I hear it, a dislocated vertebra, a slap across the face. My mother doesn't understand the word vulnerable. شو يعني, she says. What does it mean? Slightly frustrated with the anglicized in me to let someone in, I think. But she's as patient as a fruit fly with my words. The day my mother found out I lost my virginity, she made me promise, after she sewed my hymen back intact, to never mention it to any man in case he wanted to marry me. My mother also doesn't understand the word solitude. It's when you enjoy your own company, I justify, but she echoes herself and sighs, شو يعني? What does it mean? You see, both my mother and mother tongue are in constant need of an attentive audience. Last week's monologue went as such. Habibi, we are strong as long as we appear to be in love. They will believe it and fall madly at your feet begging for your chewed out gum she would relish in her stories of glory, the man who picked up her purple soaked gum from the street curb to taste her. I kept a list. I would add a new one each week. They would line up at my door. Charming, irresistible, your mother was a killer. Random men would say to me over late night dinners as she tossed her hair behind her back and laughed seductively. My mother is a killer. And I am a ship at sea. It's nice out. A little cloudy. But I like it when it's about to rain. When there's so much agitation in the sky, when the clouds want to cough but realize there's a little more breath left. I am a ship, and on deck there's a few bottles of gin, a cardboard box of what I managed to fit in, a few unsent letters, a piece of gum, 2 packs of cigarettes, and a little binder of snapshots. I keep all 7 of my former lovers in there. Don't despair though, one day I'll grow up to be a real woman like my mother with overflowing scrolls of deceased lovers. You see, my mother likes to shelter open wounds. Her fingers pinch at exposed skin, pick at scabs, play with the oozing pus, fascinated with what comes out of her. My mother calls to tell me, "You are the best thing I have ever done." My mother looks at me my mother points at me in pictures and says, "You look exactly like me when I was young." Random men confuse my voice with my mother's. Something about her beaming smile tells me I have not sailed far from the harbor. I am a ship at sea, even though my father tossed me in the deep end when I was 5 and didn't understand my outraged cries. How else will you learn how to swim? Maybe he was right. It's been 3 days since I last heard her voice. A gush of wind caresses my sail, and I can't remember the last time a storm sounded this safe. My mother is a killer, but she's also the reason why I'm so neurotic. And this following poem is about that, I guess. It's about oh shit. Yeah. It's about just okay. Bear with me. Okay. So how many can I do? One more? One more. Just choosing one. I guess I should have come to terms with the fact that we are strangers. That we have become like empty walls of a new apartment, lived in and cleaned for another tenant who will never know the color of the posters that we hung on them. Suddenly I feel punished. Exile myself back into my room. Her eyes look into mine sometimes, but they are empty of any color. Sometimes I see judgment. Other times they are still as my silence. I guess I should have come to terms with the fact that we are strangers. That my bed feels like a piece of furniture someone's used to block the door from opening. Heavy and bigger than it should be, I look at it and think, maybe it's this bed that has lonely etched into large striped bedsheets. Maybe it's this bed that makes it so hard to fall asleep. Maybe it's this bed that makes me feel like I'm being swallowed every single night. Sleep paralysis? This bed. The ache mid-back? This bed. The heavy eyelids, the hollow tint of a washed out yellow beneath them, the belly button that itches and burns. Yes. Yes. This bed. He says, projection is the defense of the paranoid. Day after day, I feel the word grow on me. Some days it sits between my neck and my shoulder. Other days I feel it color my belly button a shade of dark red, but most days I can feel it spread mid-back thicker like the rash I had when I was 13. I hide it as well as I did back then, long sleeves. No one wants to see what you look like once you've been bitten. But I guess I should have come to terms with the fact that we are strangers. Every day, each look, another path into the territory you're therapist has tried so hard to keep shut tight. Maybe it's this bed that makes it impossible to sit straight or lay on my side. Maybe it's this bed that makes the morning feel like a construction site, a building that will never get built. Sleep paralysis, this bed. The ache mid-back, this bed. Maybe it's this bed that makes my jaw feel like it's about to break open. It's not a cavity, I tell myself at 3 in the morning. It's my teeth grinding hard enough to hit the nerves. Maybe it's this bed that won't let me cry this weight out into a pillow. It makes the walking so heavy. It makes my back burn. It's this bed, isn't it? Won't you just please say it is?